Now we're Mercurial mercenaries to over the top. It's Friday night, time for a time waster. I thought, what subject could I waste our, because it's not just your time I'm wasting, it's my time as well, our time on mercenaries. What could I waste it with? What could I waste it with? And I thought, I could just talk. We could just have a little chat in the comment section here, whatever. So, recently, I've put a few videos out. I've talked about Blaze Bayley from Iron Maiden. That was for Carla Bradley. Not sure that she watched it. I'm not sure that Carla Bradley would watch the video entitled Blaze Bayley is a terrible singer. I'm not sure she'd watch that for mercenaries, but it was a viewer's comment question. That's what we could do. We could just do a few viewers' comments. Questions, Q&A. Not just questions that have been asked, but questions that have been asked frequently. Like, when are we going to watch you listening to an album by the OCs or the Orcs or whatever? But some of you have been watching. 5 albums in 1 year, too many. 489 views. Look at this one, mercenaries. 0 dislikes for that video. There might be a theme here. It might be because it was short. I keep saying how people like long videos just because I do. But in actual fact, so many people comment that it's a slog to watch my videos. I think I'm going to have to appreciate the fact that maybe, just maybe, people haven't got the time and people do have short attention spans. It might not even be a criticism of short attention spans. It might just be that people genuinely don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I wouldn't have the time to watch my videos, to be fair. Blaze Bayley is a terrible singer. It takes me 50 minutes and 14 seconds to get to the point, which is Blaze Bayley isn't a terrible singer. What I do is I try and pick a title that might be a little contentious. Or in this case, Blaze Bayley is a terrible singer. What happened there was I watched so many Iron Maiden videos. Blaze Bayley was the Iron Maiden singer from like around the mid-90s when Bruce Dickinson left. And you watch his performances at gigs on YouTube from that era. And he wasn't very good. And people are constantly saying how Blaze Bayley is a terrible singer. One of the worst singers ever. So I'm going along with what people said. And then at the end of the video, the twist is that no, he's not a terrible singer. Blaze Bayley was a good singer. Only 229 views. But interestingly again, 0 thumbs down. Not that the thumbs down, thumbs up ratio bothers me particularly. I think I take any engagement though. Any level of engagement, which is why thumbs down don't particularly bother me, like I probably just said. But then you get to something like this one here. I did a video, look at this one, mercenaries, on October the 24th. And I called it, Is This the Worst Album of the Year? Greta Van Fleet. They're a young band who mimic the sound of Led Zeppelin. And Pitchfork did a review where they rated them like 1.6 out of 10. 1.6 being quite bad. And so I did this video here, Is This the Worst Album of the Year? Greta Van Fleet. And I spoke about the Pitchfork review for 42 odd minutes. Again, quite a long time. Quite a long time. I think people have only got an attention span of around 4 to 7 minutes. Not 47 minutes, 4 to 7 minutes. And the point of the Pitchfork review was the guy who did the review, and there's only one man, you can't judge a whole website or a whole magazine or whatever by one person's review. If you're going to allow one person to write a review on behalf of your organisation, then you still have to say, when it's criticised, that it is that one person's review. Which people, when they say, oh, Pitchfork suck, you've got to appreciate that there might be some people at Pitchfork who like Greta Van Fleet. But anyway, I did this review. And because it was talking about 1.6 out of 10, I spent a long time talking about the way that we review music in the first place. What review structures, what review rating systems we should use. And if maybe we shouldn't use review numbers at all, because just listening to the way someone talks about an album should be enough. And when I've done Discovers in the past, yes, at the end I might give it an arbitrary, a load of nonsense. And I talked about it in this video as well, how the rating I give, 2200, 2359, all this, it's just meant to confuse on purpose, because my general point there is this is a load of nonsense. But I did talk about ratings, and I did pull the Pitchfork review apart a little, just for fun. And I gave the video a thumbnail that I thought would be funny. Worst album what did I call it? Worst album ever. Like that. Just because if I was scrolling through videos, I would probably see that one, and I might choose to click on it. Is this the worst album of the year? It wasn't really a review of Greta Van Fleet because I hadn't listened to them. Bear that in mind. Above it, there you can see I then put an actual review of the album after I listened to it out. 15 minutes. I tried to make it smaller because what happened was I realised the quality of the Greta Van Fleet fans. Now, what happened was that the Greta Van Fleet fans saw that title, Is This the Worst Album of the Year? And they saw the thumbnail. So they clicked on my video. I think, no, I can't guarantee this. I can't guarantee this. It might just be that people genuinely don't like me. Like just, put an Alan Partridge GIF up. Now, I've got to call them GIFs, not GIFs. Did you realise that? Because the creator of GIFs said, I don't care how you want to pronounce it. It's pronounced GIF, like the cleaner before they called that SIF. From GIF to GIF to SIF. My mercenaries. Look, we're not going to get around to the frequently asked questions, are we? Because I'm talking bollocks again. But I put this review, not this review, I put this, just this discussion about Pitchfork and reviews in general, and a little bit about Greta Van Fleet out there. And I see now, it got 4,000 views, right? But I see that it got 131 thumbs downs. I think, I'd have to check. We could do that now. I can't be asked to check. But I think that might be the most thumbs downs I've ever had for a video. And honestly, when it comes to Greta Van Fleet, there's nothing in that video that's particularly contentious. So the fans that clicked on the video and didn't watch it and just wrote abuse towards me, really. I got abused, my mercenaries. I got abused by the Greta Van Fleet fans. Abused. That's not to say that perhaps if I did the same sort of thing about other bands that they wouldn't, the fans of those bands wouldn't abuse as well. I think what happens is you've got really strong, heartfelt fans out there for bands, and they must just trawl the internet. If they see a title like that, is this the worst album of the year? Greta Van Fleet. I've been saying that the baby metal fans have been brilliant because I've been listening to baby metal songs. And the baby metal fans, look at this. Look, baby metal, Megitsun, reaction, 209 thumbs ups. Baby metal, third ever listen, 424 thumbs ups. So, and I've been praising them, lovely bunch of fans. But then again, just say that I didn't like baby metal when I put a video out there saying, is this band the worst band ever? And then I put a picture of me like that with Sue Metal and Yui Metal and Moa Metal or whatever around me. Let's face it, I'd probably have 1,000 thumbs downs immediately and loads of abuse, because I suppose people just, if you like what they like, they're on board, and if you don't like what they like, who knows? And that's not singling out baby metal fans. I'm just saying that perhaps it's just to be expected. If I put a video out there that says, is this the worst album of the year, with a thumbnail like that, perhaps it's to be expected that the fans of the band will come en masse. Perhaps the video was posted somewhere on like a Reddit thing. I don't do Reddit or any of that, but perhaps someone posted it somewhere and said, go to this guy's site and give him shit. I don't know. Perhaps I was thinking too highly of myself. Probably is thinking a bit too highly of myself. But some of the comments were totally ridiculous. And in actual fact, like I said, I did do, I then did a review, a proper review of the band. And it turns out I kind of wanted to like them, to go against the grain, to go against the Pitchfork comment. I'd love to have come out there and said, now that I've listened to it, honestly, Greta Van Fleet is the greatest band in the world right now. I love the youthful zest and the vibrance, and I love the fact that they sound like Led Zeppelin. I appreciate it. Led Zeppelin aren't around anymore. I love the fact that this band can carry on that 70s mane, chest hair thing and carry it on and bring it to us, to everyone who likes rock and roll. Bring back that spirit, the spirit that some people say is a lost spirit, and bring it back. I'd love to have said all that, my mercenaries, but what happened was I listened to the album and I didn't like it. It sounded like Led Zeppelin, but not very good Led Zeppelin. Didn't like it. And then later on, after I posted that video, and it was reasonable. I mean, look at it. 75 thumbs ups, 27 thumbs down. So people have been reasonable with that video. I did then try and watch a live gig by Greta Van Fleet. But the singer came on stage and he did have a feather in his ear or whatever, and his sort of waistcoat thing with his chest out. And he just started screaming and squelching into the mic like Robert Plant. And he did really irritate me. And I understand that I'm quite polarising, as I've found in my comment section recently. People really, really either, well, I was going to say love or hate me. No one loves me, but I would assume it's easy to hate me. But so take this criticism with a pinch of salt. But the singer of Greta Van Fleet immediately irritated me. And I like, I like that. Charisma and balls to the wall and get out there and don't just stand there and strum MGMT style. Get out there and just give me something. Give me something. I like that. Bearing in mind I'm a fan of that. And yet I watched him and just thought, go away, you tit. So I had to switch it off. So for those of you over the months that wanted me to watch Greta Van Fleet to see my reaction, you kind of missed it. But my reaction was kind of like... Lots of you have been asking where my discovers have gone. Well, it's been a bit of a crisis of confidence, really. I have a lot of albums to discover, okay? A lot of albums to discover, all right? You can see these. A lot. You see these? See? You see this? Look. Look at it. Look at it. But the crisis of confidence is the crackdown on copyright. Now, it's encroaching. It's an ongoing situation, but the threat of the clampdown is getting nearer and nearer, especially with the European Union Article 23 or whatever it was, 21, 23, where if you put any copyrighted material out, you could be sued. And we're going to have the situation where YouTube is going to clamp down more and more. And currently, if I do a discover and I put an album on and I listen to it and I react to it or whatever, I throw it out into the world. I mean, I hope, and this is always a best case scenario, I hope that the publishers for that band, for those songs, will just claim the music as theirs and give me a copyright claim. You guys get to watch it. YouTube runs adverts before it and the publisher, band, whatever gets paid. That's my best case scenario. Now, I never started doing this for money. And I still don't do this. Well, obviously I don't do this for money because I don't get any money. But it is, right, it's slightly irritating to put that much effort in for someone else to get money. But whatever. I don't do it for the money. But the worst case scenario is, well, I suppose there's three, isn't there? Best case scenario, you can watch it and the publisher gets the money. The middle case scenario, that's not me giving you the finger, is that they worldwide block it. So I put all the effort in, but no one gets to see it. And the worst case scenario, which hasn't happened yet, but could, especially in this day and age, is that they copyright strike me, which has the potential to take the whole channel down. Now, having read through my comments recently, especially since Greta Van Fleet, my channel going down probably wouldn't be a bad thing for some of you. But with that constant threat and lack of reward, and the fact is, let's face it, this isn't a big channel. It's not a channel that's doing that. Whoa, look at Mercurial number... Oh, have you seen the Mercurial number 6? His channel's great, isn't it? Have you subscribed? It's brilliant, isn't it? Make sure you subscribe and click the bell as well, because his videos are unmissable. I'm doing that. It's not doing that, is it? I see channels do that. People to start a channel, get 100,000 subscribers. I see that. I've worked for my 3,000, my mercenaries, for you. I've worked for this. I've done 674 videos for this, my mercenaries. For this. 674 videos. And people comment, right? They say stuff like this, right? Watch, my mercenaries, watch this. Watch this. See what I have to put up with, right? Watch this. This is brilliant. I haven't even seen this one yet. Joel Quinn. This isn't even what I was going to say. Joel Quinn on my... Is this the worst band of the Year video. There are two types of people: awesome, smart people who like Greta Van Fleet, and the rest are utter pieces of human shit that deserve to die. Brilliant. Joel. Oh, let's give him a let's give him a capital letter for his name on Mercenary, shall we? Joel. Joel. I assume you are joking. Having like that, like we're talking like Mockney. Having a laugh. Having a laugh. We'll put laugh like that. We'll spell it like that. Having a laugh. You, rather than you've. Let's just ignore the grammar. Ooh, grammar police. You gotta, like that. You gotta be. No, let's get rid of that. Don't like that. Hang on. Joe. I assume you're joking. Having a laugh. Let's have having rather than having. Hang on. We can do this one, mercenaries. Having a laugh. You wouldn't. No, let's just leave it like that. Joe. I assume you're joking. It sounds like a Billy Joel song. Is it Billy Joel? I hear people say Billy Joel. Oh, I'm a fan of Billy Joel. It's like, sounds like Superman's dad. Joe. I assume you're joking, having a laugh, right? That's not what. No. It's got quite a runny nose. That's all. What I was going to say was, people have written comments on my videos recently where they're trying to give me advice, and they're trying to do it. I think they probably think they're doing it respectfully. They're saying things like, "You're a blabbly." Well, let's just read, my mercenaries. Let's just read. Here we go. Rotten apple. On my, funnily enough, on my "Is this the worst video band of all time?" or whatever I said. Rotten apple. Dude, get to the point. You're babbling. Be concise. See now, after 674 whatever videos, right? I've earned the right, even if you don't like me, and even if I make no money, I've earned the right to say whatever I want to say and be however long I want to be. The fact is, no one watches anyway, only my handful of mercenaries. So I'm choosing to do this. Rotten apple. It's like you think that this is fresh advice for me on my first video. But that's fine. What I should reply there is, thank you. Your advice has been noted. Your suggestions have been noted. I will try to implement your suggestions in the next video, which I hope, well, that's this video, I suppose, but I hope will be roughly 10 seconds long. I can put the title of the video, and then I suppose I could just start the video and say the title. So if the video was about, because this is what happens with mercenaries, I make videos about nonsense all the time. What happens is I look through the list of things and I see something that, here for example, right, Tusk Music, right, says that heavy metal has never been in vogue. So that's definitely something I'd like to do a video about, whether heavy metal has ever been in vogue. So what I could do for Rotten Apple is I could title the video, "Has heavy metal ever been in vogue?" And then when he clicks on the video I could film could just be me going, yes. It could be a 5-second video. At least I would be getting to the point and I'd be being concise. And that's what I should have said there. I should have said back to him, I should have said, "Dude, the next video for your benefit will be 5 seconds long." But I didn't. I tried to be, well, I'm just getting a little bit. I think what happened was I for a long time, there was no comment you could throw at me where I wouldn't just be nice back, because I can take humour and everything. But once I've been called a cocksucker for the 100th time just because I dared to suggest that Greta Van Fleet might sound like Led Zeppelin. Anyway, Ali Bad, where is our Orc OC's album? Listen, Ali Bad. Oh, I didn't get to the end of my spiel about the Discovers, did I? When it comes to the Discovers, it's a temporary hiatus. I have ideas for ways to make a comeback with it, with episode whatever it would be now, 57 or so. I have ideas. I have not forgotten about the Discovers. I am just trying to think of a new... I'm trying to think of a way to do a Discover of an album. It's like I've gone full circle. Most reviewers will listen to an album off camera and then talk about it to you. I changed the game, I thought, because I didn't think anyone else was doing it. I didn't realise there was a whole reaction sub-sector cult out there of people like with headphones on going, "Oh yeah, oh." Well, most of them are silent, aren't they? Because whenever I get told to shut up, people just say, "Can you just shut up and listen to the music, you babbling idiot?" What I realise now is that their idea of reactions are just people doing this. Like in the corner of the screen. So you've got like the video or whatever up here, or a picture of the album cover up here, and then someone in the bottom corner just like that. Right, brilliant. Well, I don't want that. So I was listening to the whole album, right? And to me, that was the way. That was, I hit upon it, and that's where I got most of my subscribers from, I suppose. And I hit upon it, and now it's like I'm going full circle, because now I realise that perhaps listening to the whole album is a bit of a problem. Let me know what you guys think. I have ideas, and I'll probably unleash them on to the world, and you can tell me in the future whether you like those ideas or not for Discovers. But let me know. Let me know if you'd be heartbroken if I didn't just listen to the whole record and talk shit over it. Kathy Woodring. I'll assume Kathy's a girl. In which case, Kathy, you need to wash your mouth out. Kathy, on my Is This the Worst, Greta Van Fleet. Is this the worst album of the year, Greta Van Fleet? This blabbing fool is jealous beyond words and an arrogant wannabe jerk. So I'm not a jerk, I'm a wannabe jerk. That's worse than being a jerk, isn't it? A wannabe jerk. I'm an arrogant wannabe jerk. GVF, that stands for Greta Van Fleet, I think. Greta Van Fleet laughing at people like you all the way to the bank. Can you imagine? Like, you've got to imagine that, my mercenaries now. Imagine Greta Van Fleet, there's 4 of them. They all look the same because they're all brothers, but one of them's got a feather hanging out of his ear. Imagine them kind of dancing in a kind of 60s, 70s way, dancing to the bank. And all the way they're laughing, right? They're not laughing at anything random, they're laughing at me. They're laughing at me. It's good. Louis Fish, I do intend to listen to Tyranny by the Voids because I loved that Voids album. I loved that Voids album. Mindful says, in response to, is this the worst album of the year? So I think he's trying to have a go at me here. I'm not sure. Mindful might genuinely mean this. He says, I didn't know what to do with this one. I usually give a thumbs up to a comment if I've read it. So you can usually tell if I've read your comment because I give it a thumbs up. But sometimes I just read a comment and think, yeah, you're not getting a thumbs up for that. Oh, got to get the right... I nearly tipped that down my shirt then. So that would have been made interesting viewing, wouldn't it? Mindful says, I didn't know Paul Rogers did reaction videos. What the hell? Let's just heart it. Should we heart it? We'll heart it. Paul Rogers. So let's just look up Paul Rogers, all right? So there we go, my mercenaries. Let's try same, I suppose. Hang on. I suppose you've got to imagine Paul Rogers doing a reaction video, though. Hang on. We can do this. We can do this. Hang on. What's he doing? Like that. Is that good? Hope it got you going. There's a nice one. There's a nice one there, look. Juan's Day Off. Juan's Day Off. Admittedly, not on my Greta Van Fleet video. Listening to MGMT. You've got a great personality. And that is probably not as good as having a lovely bunch of coconuts, but it's up there, my mercenaries. It's up there. Juan's Day Off. Do you know what? You're going to get a heart. Tob Good Show. Talking about my video listening to King Gizzard and Dizzy Dizzard's Nonagon Infinity. The drummers are 100% synchronised. It's so mesmerising when you watch them live. It is. It is, and I went to watch them live in London, and it is, and I had my eyes on those drummers, and they're looking into each other's eyes, aren't they? They have their drum kits facing each other, and it's a very strange setup, really. But they're looking into each other's eyes, and it shouldn't work. It shouldn't work, but it does. You can have a heart for that. Tob Show, watching my reaction to 12 Bar Blues by King Gizzard, says 3¼ minutes in and he's cracked the pipe and beer. Madman. Beep. Love you. I'm just fed up of beeping the all the time, so I might as well just do it live now. Beep. Love you, Mercurial. That's what I like. This is more like this is more like it. I like comments like this one. Please feed me more. There. This is more like it. I like comments like this one. Please feed me more. Blabbing arse. That's what they call me on Mercenaries. Next. Mo Sislak. Simpsons. Making me want these. Trying to get me to listen to DMA's. DMA's Hill's End album. They're my favourite band. King Gizzard are close behind them. You prefer them to King Gizzard. They must be good. They must be good, Mo. I'm going to try. I will try to seek it out. But you see, it's finding the time on Mercenaries because I'm always doing this. Doing time wasters with you. Waste my time. It's wasting your time. I can see how much time we're wasting here. I can see it. There's a counter just here as I'm talking to you, just there, saying, wasting time, what takes to Halloween. Halloween went and handed lots of sweets out. And I carved a pumpkin. My pumpkin was in the previous video. Did you see that? That's the first pumpkin I've ever carved. Here we go. Look at this one, my Mercenaries. This is, again, though, it's on Is This the Worst Album of the Year? Greta Van Fleet. So you got to understand that Dr. Krankenstein has clicked on that video because he's probably a Greta Van Fleet fan. Who knows? Who knows? You are too hard to watch and listen to because you are over the top for no apparent reason. Calm down, mate. To be fair, he did say good luck on my show. Oh, and actually, he wasn't. Look at that. He wasn't a Greta Van Fleet fan either. So he was a potential mercenary who just thinks that I'm too over the top. And I suppose he says I'm too over the top for no apparent reason. I suppose this is the problem in life. You always need an apparent reason. Because if I was over the top with an apparent reason, I mean, what would the apparent reason be for a Greta Van Fleet being the worst album of the year video? I suppose if I was saying that Greta Van Fleet were had the worst album of the year because they sound like Led Zeppelin, but as I'm saying it, in the room with me I have John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. So I could be like, woohoo! I like Led Zeppelin, and I could be pointing and touching them, not sexually, touching them, and talking about how bad. And Greta Van Fleet are just, I don't know. How do you you need an apparent reason sometimes on Mercenaries. And Gunner368 is pointing out that by the time I released my 5 albums, is 5 albums in 1 year too much to listen to from any artist? Because Ty Segall had released 5 albums this year. By the time I released that video, Gunner368 is pointing out to me that he's actually just released his 6th. It's good. This is going good at the moment. This is like I'm actually doing well, it's not viewers' questions, but I am actually looking at comments now. This is working. I could title the video now something like viewers' comments. And then someone will click on it and watch the first minute and say, "You're babbling, mate!" Because I didn't address the viewers' comments in the first minute of the video, did I? I think you'll find I rambled. In this video where I'm getting criticised for rambling, I was rambling. It's like I'm an idiot, my mercenaries. I can't win. I don't know which side my bread's buttered. Evil White Clown Punk, my celebrity commenter on my 5 albums in 1 year being too much, says, I don't care how many, they all suck except Steel Panther. And I am buying none of them except Steel Panther. Now, Steel Panther are a kind of... it's a glam band parody band. Very talented musicians. And yes, they're doing a parody, a comedy act. But they do it with such gusto. Sheer gusto. And I did a Discover purely for Evil White Clown Punk. Hopefully I can link to it below somewhere. Where I did a Discover of a Steel Panther album. And I put more effort into that bloody Discover. I dressed up for it, everything. I put makeup on and a bloody wig for you guys. And do you know what? None of you mother beeps watched it. None of you. Charles Doe. Dow. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've got to make a judgment call now. An instant judgment call. Charles. I'm going to go for Dow, like now. Is this the worst album of the year video? Charles Dow. He said, what do you want from an album? You literally have no clue what you're talking about. They are an amazing band and still very young. They also extremely good live. Do they sound like Zeppelin? Maybe, but who the hell cares? Go listen to some techno and leave the reviews to people with good taste. And my issue here is that he seemed to think that I listen to techno. But when I thought about that, I thought, I haven't really got a problem with that. It depends what you mean by techno. Because 2 Unlimited had the bloke who just stood in the background going, techno, 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 techno. That's what I think of when I think of techno. But that girl out of 2 Unlimited, I like that song as well. No, 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 no. That one. She wore, remember in the video, she wore a metal skirt. She was nice. So I haven't really got a problem with techno, particularly, per se. I said to him, because I'd had a bad day of it, what Charles Dow didn't realise was I'd had an endless line of Greta Van Fleet fans calling me a dick from not watching my videos. And I said to him, another idiot in the endless line of idiots, sigh. And I did. I went like that. Take your good taste and beep off. And he came back at me and he said, I never said I had good taste. And I went back to his comment. He said, go listen to some techno and leave the reviews to people with good taste. He meant reviewers with good... He's right, you know. He didn't say he had good taste. So I had to back down my mercenaries. So I said, true. True. And when I write, like that, when I do that, I'm actually going... When I'm typing, imagine me typing, I'm going, Go and watch reviews by people who agree that the music you like is good, then you can have a tea party and discuss the music that you know is good because you've already listened to it. And the reviewer can nod along. Like that. And I'll beep off and listen to some more techno. See, I've just backed down. And then Charles Dow said, there isn't much music coming out these days that is good at all. I know you can admit that. And I thought about that and I thought, this is a shame. Because this is the vibe I'm getting from the Greta Van Fleet fans. They are basically under the impression that the world needs saving by a bunch of youngsters playing Led Zeppelin-esque music. That the world needs saving because there's no rock anymore. There's no rock music. I mean, I watched an Ariana? What's she called? Annie Hall. An Ariana Grande gig last night. It was good. It was good. It was good. But and rock in terms of commercial success and things. And there's another. Oh, there was another video I was going to do tonight about that. Never mind. We'll do it another day. In some respects, rock is dead. However, the idea that we need a bunch of youngsters playing Led Zeppelin-esque music to come along when rock. There's always rock bands out there. And there are hundreds of rock bands out there right now who are amazing. And I came back to Charles and I said, look, I've done over 50 videos. How many has it been now? 57? Can't remember. 56, 57? I've done over 50 videos where I listen to albums suggested by viewers. And some that I've tried to suggest to you, my mercenaries. I tried to suggest Jean-Michel Jarre to you. What other ones did I do for you? Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Iron Maiden. Anyway, The series is called Discover. There is some great current music out there. And then I had to think of ones off the top of my head, and all I could think of as I was typing. Imagine me doing that. The cogs whirling in my head, my Mercenaries. King Is It MGMT and Tysa Gal. And then I linked to the playlist of, probably links to the playlist of the 57 videos or whatever. How many is it? Let's just check. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that. We got up to, look at that, my Mercenaries. Yeah, 57. Ariel Pink. Dedicated to Bobby Jameson. That's a great album. I'm liking it. Look at these. Look at these videos of my Mercenaries. I'm liking them all. That Genesis album was fantastic. Death album was good. But when it comes to new music, Charles, and Ariel Pink album was great. New music. King Cruel. If you want new music that's not emulating Led Zeppelin, King Cruel. The Voids. Tim Impala. The Go Team even. MGMT. Pond. Melody's Echo Chamber. Unknown Mortal Orchestra. There's some good music out there. Current. There's some good current music out there. Sultana. Raisin. And then he came back with a comment that I never saw, because my phone decides when I will see comments. Most of the time, your comment will pop up immediately, and I'll quite often answer it immediately, so you'll see that I've replied to your comment like before you typed it. And sometimes I don't see it, and I miss Charles coming back to say, thanks, I'll check them out. Now I don't want you to beep off since you're being nice. I shall reply to Charles, my Mercenaries. Charles, I am always nice. Wink. Just sometimes I am driven to being to being a little less nice. What I want to say there is by Greta Van Fleet fans, but I won't. Charles, I'm always nice, just sometimes I'm driven to being a little less nice. Being a little less nice. But we're going to love Charles's comment. Another comment here by Carla Bradley. My last but one video was a comment responding to a question by Carla Bradley. Already hearted that one. Oh, that's nice, look. That on my listening to Mercurial, Misplaced Childhood. Fantastic album. Fantastic album. Wheelie45 said, great reaction video. That's what I like. Great reaction video. Botond Peter on my Krang Bin. Remember them? Krang Bin? I liked that band. I liked that band. He said, what a beeping idiot. But he put a smiley face. Now, I usually thumbs up when I read something, but I hesitated. I thought, am I thumbsing up someone calling me an idiot? But the smiley face makes me think he means it in a nice way. What do you guys think? Write down below. Does Botond Peter, does he mean that I'm a beeping idiot in a nice way? Or does he really mean I'm a beeping idiot? Let's love his comment anyway. So I think he means it in a nice way. I think he does, genuinely. Hulino. Always, if you're watching any of my videos and you get to a comment by Hulino, always read it, because this guy speaks sense, very intelligent man. I very rarely reply to his comments because they are so, they're like complete novels, complete works of art in themselves. It always seems like I'm just adding an idiot cherry to a beautiful cake. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the idiot that people say I am. I don't know. Maybe I should call my album that. The Mercurial number 6. I am the idiot people say I am. I like this comment. I didn't make a big deal of it at the time, but Steve Bonus. In the 5 albums in 1 year one, at the end of the video I said something like, as a joke because of Greta Van Fleet, I said something like, thank you my Mercenaries, and let me know if I sound like Led Zeppelin, or something like that I said. And I like this because I didn't think about this. Because this video was raw, this 5 albums in 1 year. Like a bit like this one. Filmed in the same way as this one. I've got lots of different ways of filming, but this is the way I'm choosing to do it when I'm just thinking, yeah, like that, yeah. And he's written, Not much going on for distortional effects in this video. You're pretty much going acoustic here. This is your Led Zeppelin 3. I like that. This style of video is my Led Zeppelin 3. What would be... Oh, do you know what? Some of those discovers were getting into the realms of Led Zeppelin 4. Pierre Chansus saying he's always here when I need him, baby. Thank you. Thank you. I like this one. I'm not a number. I'm not a number. He's a free man. He says, I'm not a number. Says, it's thanks to your review of Freedom's Goblin. I bought the album and went to see him live. Still think he owes you a finder's fee. Look, for all those people telling me to stop babbling and stop being a wanker or whatever you say to me, I'm trying. And some people out there have bought albums on my say-so. Not like my say-so. What I mean is on my recommendation. Or after seeing me respond to some music, they watched it and thought, I want to be part of that. And I've done the same in the past. I've seen people respond to music and I thought, I've got to respond to that. To be honest, some of the baby metal stuff, I put it on, thought it was a bit of a joke, but the sheer response from people who are kind of dedicating their lives to that band, I thought there must be more to this. There must be more to this. So I delved a bit deeper, and yeah, there usually is. I mean, there's more substance there than Greta Van Fleet at the moment. Chin strapping in says Greta Van Fleet is a Led Zeppelin cover band. I mean, like, kind of, but you know, kind of. I always get good comments from Explosive Notes. Very clever guy, great musician. Ben Brinton, still one of only two, I think. Let me think now. Has anyone else ever come up to me and said, are you the Mercurial number 6? Ben Brinton's one of the only Mercurial mercenaries I ever touched, not sexually, but shaken hands with. Great guy. He's got a channel actually where he talks about vinyl records. Check it out. Let's give him a heart. Number 9. 5 albums in 1 year is too much for a band like King Gizzard, but not too much for a band like Brockhampton. Now, and I wrote why there. That wasn't some sort of like nasty reply. I genuinely wanted to know why. I don't really know who Brockhampton are. I've heard Anthony Fantano go on and on about how much he likes Brockhampton, but when I see Brockhampton, I think they're like a collective, like a So Solid crew or something. They're either a bunch of rappers or they're a boy band. But let me know, guys, if you think that I would like Brockhampton. Beck, it all makes sense now. Being naughty by being upbeat while everything is decaying. Nice. Is that something that I said during that MGMT Metanoia video? Because I like that phrase. Being naughty by being upbeat while everything is decaying. I don't know, whoever said that. Maybe it's a lyric from the song. I can't remember. Let's like it anyway. Heart it. Greta Van Fleet, HK, sound like an insipid, anemic Led Zeppelin. So they definitely don't sound like the mighty Zepp at all. That's true. I think if Greta Van Fleet had sounded a little bit more mighty, I think they would have won over people. I think it's the fact that the detractors, and let's face it, as people keep telling me, they're a popular band selling out everywhere. But the detractors would say they've created an album of songs that like Zeppelin B-sides, or maybe not even that good. Although Zeppelin didn't release singles, so did they have any B-sides? I think we've got to stop saying that to a band that didn't have B-sides. Led Zeppelin, Jaffa Cake. Led Zeppelin did not create this type of music. True. They had a hand in it, but they had a hand in the sound. But the blues was there, but they had a hand in like making it more powerful, along with Cream and, well, Cream, I would say. There are probably hundreds of people who sing the way Robert Plant and Josh. It's just that these two are excellent at it. They are excellent. I mean, the guy can sing, but he sounds exactly like Robert Plant. So when I always say the sign of a decent singer, and I went into this in full on the Blaze Bayley video, but no one watched. But in my opinion, the sign of a good singer is someone that when you hear them just for a moment, you know exactly who it is. And when I hear Josh for a moment, I think it's Robert Plant. Steve Jones, Sex Pistols, says that Greta Van Fleet are a welcome breath of fresh air. Anthem of the Peaceful Army is a very good follow-up to From the Fires. I was expecting something good, and this is better than what I was hoping for. Good. I am happy. I like it when people like music. Riley Martin is comparing, you got Greta Van Fleet, and you've got Led Zeppelin. You've got Real Dolls, and you've got Women. I get what you're on about. Let's give that a heart as well. Screwbo Baggins Gaming says, lots of love, man. All these butthurt Greta Van Fleet fans. Greta Van Fleet sucks. So he's come on my video to agree with me. Allegedly, according to the thumbnail. Even though if you clicked on the video and watched it, you'd know that I wasn't saying that. But I did agree with him in some respects. I said they have indeed stuck a barrel full of thumbs downs up my ass. Like, shall I love my own I can't love my own comment. Let's like his comment. Maybe there's some of you out there thinking, oh, will he get to my comment? Will he get to my comment? Because it's such a big channel. He's got 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers. When he got my comment? When he got time? Got the gear. Got the gear. Hang on. Let's face it, no one's watching at this point. We can do anything we want now. On. Is this the worst album of the year? Greta Van Fleet. Melon B. Stefan. Melon B. Remember Melon Kim. Want to be respectable, taking chances, not small to dance. I'm never gonna be respectable. This loser is just trying to get attention. 3 exclamation marks. He don't, no apostrophe, no good music if it slapped him in the head. 2 exclamation marks. Listen to your accent, bud. I took offence at that bit. Listen to my accent. I thought, well, what's wrong with my accent? I mean, people are criticising my looks. I look like Paul Rogers. They're criticising the way they're criticising the content of what I say. They're criticising the length I say it. And now they're criticising the sound of my voice. Listen to your accent, bud. Ellipsis. Should be only 3 dots, really. He just babbles in this video. Minutes of my life I will never get back. And then we got, in capital letters, my mercenaries, get a life and better job, asshat. Get a life and better job, asshat. Get a life and better job, asshat. I mean, I don't know, you want to do all those things? Get a life. And better job, asshat. Better job, asshat. Better job, asshat. Oh, love! Oh, I gave him a heart. My mercenaries gave him a heart. Gave him a heart. If you get the chance, watch Nick James's Q&As on Saturday mornings. He's a lovely bloke. English bloke. Lives in France. Francais. Evil White Clown Punk. I got so much stick for drinking Bud Light. And Evil White Clown Punk says that light beer is for lightweights. Oh, this was a nice one from 4 Bleats. This was on my Blaze Bayley. Imagine brazing Blaze Bayley. Don't, not sexually. Look at the length of the comment that 4 Bleats says, congratulations, you've made me log into YouTube for the first time in 8 years. And I read that and I thought, that. I'd been reading nothing but slaggings off of all my videos. Well, only that one video to be fair, but my videos, my personality, the length of my talking, the fact that no one can get around the fact that I'm obviously doing a Ronnie Corbett all the time where I'm ostensibly telling one story but I'm veering around it and round it. Some of you get that, but some of you don't. But I liked that. And he wrote this comment about Wolfsbane. And I read that, and I probably said it here. There you go. Look, well, you can read it yourself if you want in my mercenaries, but that hit me there. We got into a lot. Me and Mr. Floyd got into a lot of nonsense over whether, I think I said something like Tamworth, sort of Birmingham way. And we got into this thing now where Tamworth actually isn't in Birmingham, but does it matter? And people say the people of Tamworth would probably say it does matter. However, Tamworth's only like 15 miles away from Birmingham, 15, 14, 13 miles away from Birmingham. If I'm trying to project the impression of where Tamworth is to the world, people in Australia, Japan, the US, and I say it's Birmingham way, they might have an idea of where Birmingham is in England. It's sort of central. You get an impression. Just like rather than talk about somewhere that's near London, I might as well say it's London way. I don't mind. You could say Plymouth's on the Cornish coast if you want. It's pretty bloody close. Oh, here we go. This is, I mean, this video right now that I'm doing now is a fitting video to say this comment in, right? Whiskey Niner says, I'm not going to rip on you, man. He does, though. Watch. I can respect the off-the-cuff style. He doesn't. But you do have jump cuts. Yes. Yes. And still manage to drone on a bit, mate. I would recommend a slight lessening of the elaborations. Ronnie! Do I mention Ronnie Corbett? Am I elaborating is what I do? Rest assured that I heavily edit. I do. For those of you that see the... I kind of cut between sentences, middle of sentences, all over the place. Just imagine how long these videos actually are. Just imagine that, my mercenaries. Okay? And the elaborations thing. Just remember what I said. It's all about being a little bit Ronnie Corbett, having a main thrust, but doing that around it. And honestly, there are plenty of places for Whiskey Niner to go and watch a concise video. But let's love his comment. Seems we've talked about him. You can see now that I'm getting a little bit. Well, look, the coffee's done. It was that. It's done. Time to now go and eat a curry with some naan bread, my mercenaries. And I have another one of these in the fridge. Constance Cox on my "Is this the worst album of the year?" tweet says, "Holy shit! Shut up! 45 minutes!" I get the feeling that Constance Cox didn't watch a single beeping second of that video. Just saw the timestamp and thought, I'm going to slag this guy off. Anyway, well, you can see my reply. Whiskey Niner comes back with slight overreaction, mate. Whiskey Niner. Oh, Whiskey Niner's the one who wants me to... I can see what... Yeah, so I can see why Whiskey Niner's agreeing, because Whiskey Niner thinks that I drone on, and then someone tells me to shut up, and they agree. Oh, let's just... Come on, let's give you some love. Holy shit, shut up. 45 minutes. Love you all. The Windex Man. People talk like it's easy to sound like Led Zeppelin. Right, so most of all, I agree with Tim OG's point here, which is that's not really the point. But you're right. Is it easy to sound like Led Zeppelin? To really, truly sound like Led Zeppelin? John Bonham's drumming, Jimmy Page's guitar playing, John Paul Jones's bass, and Robert Plant singing? No. Definitely not. Greta Van Fleet are definitely putting a lot of effort into sounding like Led Zeppelin. Hating on Greta for sounding like Led Zepp is like hating on Kobe for playing like Jordan. Word 21 on "Is this the worst album of the year?" Greta Van Fleet. You trash. The only reason you have views on this video is because angry Greta Van Fleet fans came here to comment. Yes! Absolutely! Word 21. That is absolutely true. The Windex Man. I think they sound like a mix of Led and Rush with a little bit of their own style. That's true. I agree with that. Willem Venter. You are either deaf or just an absolute arsehole. These guys are awesome. Oh, look. I could have typed a much better, more interesting reply than that. All I put was imbecile. You're either deaf or just an absolute arsehole. Can I... Which comment? Remove this comment. Remove this comment. Remove this comment. Oh, I've never done that before. Never even seen that. Cool. Right. Okay, we can re-reply now. Because that was a rubbish reply. You are either deaf or just an absolute asshole. What a choice. What a choice. Deaf. I don't know why I'm mistyping everything. I can actually type on Mercenaries. Deaf or asshole. This is like deal or no deal. This is like deal or no deal. I will take asshole. Yes. What a choice. Deaf or asshole. This is like deal or no deal. I will take asshole, not sexually. I'm Mercenaries. Yes. Oh, that's better. Oh. I think I really need to stop now. We'll just see whether the next comment is good. On, is this the worst? Is this the worst? Oh, no, Archie E wrote, is this the worst YouTube channel of the year? Some, look at that. Some beeper, mother beeper, has thumbed that up. They never got back to me. I said, go on, tell me. Surprise me. Is this the worst YouTube channel of the year? I mean, I don't know. It's this isn't a great YouTube channel. I'll give you that. Is it the worst channel of 2018? Is my channel the worst channel of 2018? Maybe. Maybe it is. Well, that's sad that I. No, it's not the worst. I've seen worse. I've seen worse videos than mine on Mercenaries, haven't I? Haven't I? I think I will now stop. I think I will now stop. That's the end of viewers' comments. Let me know if you want me to ever do any more like this where I just talk shit over your comments. Let me know if that bored you. Let me know if I'm tedious, if my voice sounds crap, if my accent is shit, if I pontificate too much, if you don't like the Ronnie Corbett stuff, if you don't like the camera I use, if you don't like the lighting. I mean, this is a terrible video for camera and lighting, but this was supposed to be, you know, meh. Let me know anything you want. Let me know if you like this drink. And thank you very much, my Mercenaries. I don't give a shit. Over and out.